Welcome to another week in the Zoom chat. So pretty much this call is it's called how to know if you're actually making progress in your fat loss journey. Okay, so most women think their body changes because of what they do once in a while, like a good workout week, a clean Monday, a motivated phase, right? But your body doesn't care about motivation. Like your body responds to inputs and more importantly, daily inputs. Inputs you put every single day. Right? Not what you do 3 times a week, not what you do when you're feeling motivated or inspired, what you do every single day. Even when you're tired, even when you're busy, even when you're stressed, even when you're not in the mood, right? So that's what decides how your body looks and feels and how it functions. Okay. So today we're breaking down the three daily inputs that actually move the needle and why mastering these three is what's going to create real and long-term fat loss. And again, I've been doing this for 13 plus years now. I know exactly, like, I've been there. I've had so many times where I've been stressed and I got to show up for myself. Or I've had a bad day and I got to show up for myself as well. Right? Because if I don't do these things, what tends to happen is everything, like all aspects of my life, go downhill after. Okay. So I'm gonna break it down into three daily inputs you just gotta focus on. These are three things that, like, let's say for example, if you had a piece of paper and you just gotta focus on those three things to know that, oh, today was a good day. Today was a good day with my progress, with my fitness and my fat loss and my health. Okay. So if you get these three things done, you're good. You're golden. I don't have to worry. Okay. So here are the three daily inputs. Boom. Put a one in the Zoom chat if you can see that. So number one is calories. Number two is getting your steps in. Number three is dealing with your stress and sleep. Okay, so before we talk about workouts, we talk about programs. Before we talk about motivation, we talk about willpower. So there are three daily inputs that decide how your body responds over time. Not weekly inputs, not occasionally inputs that you do. It's things that you do daily. And those three inputs are calories, daily steps, and your stress and sleep. And if these three things are off, fat loss is going to feel hard. It's going to feel slow. It's going to feel frustrating. But once all these three things are working in harmony and you're getting all these three things done, your body is going to change automatically with time. Okay, so this is a checklist. And honestly, like you can even write down like in a notebook or a piece of paper, write down a daily checklist, make sure all these three things are done. You're within your calories, you got your steps in, and you've gotten enough sleep. Or you're getting to bed at the right time. Okay? So this is how you know whether today or the day after that or any day actually counted or not. Okay? So honestly, it's just these three things. You got to focus on making sure you're getting your calories in, the daily steps have been hit, and also you're sleeping at the right time. And once you understand this, everything else is going to be optional, not the other way around. Okay. And you're probably thinking, okay, why isn't workouts on the list? Well, some of you are like, oh shoot, working out, it's one of the most important things when it comes to fat loss. Okay, cool. Yeah, workouts matter. Yes. Okay, so put in the Zoom chat, workouts matter. Workouts matter, right? But they are not the daily inputs for women. Because a common thing for women is like a lot of women think, oh, I gotta work out more in order to lose weight. Yes, you can do that, but then honestly, that's gonna burn you out. You only need three workouts a week, and when you're doing three workouts a week, that's not a daily thing, right? So if workouts were actually the solution to losing weight, the fittest women would just train harder and harder and harder, right? But that's not how it works. The women who lose fat and keep it off don't obsess over workouts. Okay. So put in Zoom chat right now. Don't obsess over workouts because they're not the priority. The priority is making sure you're not eating too much, making sure you're moving more throughout the day, and making sure you're getting enough sleep, which is honestly one of the most underrated ones. Okay. So the women who keep the fat off, they obsess over these three things every single day. And that's honestly where fat loss is won or lost. Okay, so we're going to focus on input number one, which is, of course, calories. And calories are the foundation whether you like it or not. Okay, you can't out train overeating. You can't balance it out with walking more later. And you definitely can't ignore this input and still expect fat loss. Now, this does not mean perfection. It just means awareness. Awareness of like if you're actually overeating or not, right? And when it comes to being within your calories, it's not that hard to track. Honestly, it takes less than 5 minutes of your whole day to track all your food, right? A lot of women tend to overthink it. It's not that hard. It takes 5 to 6 minutes tops. Okay. The reason why women fall off tracking is because they don't like what they're seeing. They're going over their calorie limit, right? So in order to make sure you're within your calorie limit, you always just want to focus on whole foods, which is um, foods that are not highly processed, of course, right? So foods, so put this into the Zoom chart right now, foods without a nutrition label, okay? So these foods are what can keep like are the foods that are going to keep fat off long term, right? Because as we know, veggies and fruits are low in calories, but then they make you feel full faster, right? Same as chicken or meat or um, lean beef, right? Or fish, right? These things are what are going to keep you full faster, and they're going to make you snack less. Okay, because a common reason why a lot of women get overweight is because they tend to snack a lot. Okay. Um, but again, going back to calories, you just want to focus on being within your calories, and that's it. Okay. So there's tons of ways to tackle it. Um, you can do the portion method, which is making sure you're having half a plate of veggies, a quarter plate of protein, a quarter plate of starchy carbs. Or you can just straight up track your food and just make sure that you're like you can eat whatever you want. You just got to make sure you're not overeating, right? So that could look like two big meals in a day. That's another option as well. But you just got to focus on being under. It's that simple, okay? But you got to do this long term, okay? Put a one in the Zoom chat if that makes sense, or put a question in the Zoom chat if you have any questions. Okay. So again, it's pretty simple, just making sure you're not eating less. But if you feel like you're hungry, add more veggies into the mix. Okay. Add more fruit into the mix, add more protein into the mix, right? Okay, cool. Number two is you want to focus on steps, okay? And you hear me say this all the time, but this is where most women underestimate fat loss. It's the fat loss that doesn't come from the workouts. You got to be moving more throughout the day. Okay, because in reality, fat loss comes from movement throughout the day. So for example, let's say a workout, a workout will burn 200 calories, and that's 1 hour of your day, right? And you do that 3 times a week only. Whereas if you get 10,000 steps in a day, that's roughly 400 calories. Because 1,000 steps roughly burns 40 calories. If you times that by 10, that's 400 calories. So you burn more when you're actually getting more steps in, right? So steps are the difference maker when it comes to losing the body fat, right? But also they regulate your appetite, they manage your stress, right? And yeah, they increase calorie burn without exhausting your nervous system or even breaking a sweat. Like one hard workout doesn't undo 10 hours of sitting. Okay, but consistent daily movement, that's what's going to change your body over time. And a lot of women, this is what a lot of women face. Like, this is the biggest struggle for them because a lot of women nowadays, they have a desk job, right? They're sitting down all day, 8 to 10 hours, they're not moving. Their step count is roughly 2,000 to 3,000 steps. We just got to be moving more in general, just walking more throughout the day. Okay. And that's why steps are non-negotiable to this program. A lot of people are thinking, oh, yeah, I got to run. You don't have to run to lose weight. You just got to be making sure you're moving more throughout the day. And that could be getting steps in the morning, like doing a 20-minute walk. 20 minutes of walking is 2,000 steps, right? 30 minutes of walking is 3,000 steps, right? So you just got to make sure, like one thing you can add to your day now, excuse me, is to just add a 30-minute walk. Okay, put a three in the Zoom chat if you do a 3-minute walk or a 30-minute walk every single day. Or if you do a timed walk every single day. Because that's something that you want to add into your daily routine is just having extra, well, like an actual walking session. Because that's time for yourself. That's time where you get to just relax and be there by yourself, less stress. Like walking is like there's research done where just walking more in general is what's going to reduce stress and anxiety and depression. It's insane, right? It's just walking. But a lot of people don't do it. But again, you just got to be focusing on just more movement throughout the day, and walking is part of it. If you don't have a treadmill at home, or if you don't, um, which is a good question, if you don't have a treadmill at home, what you can do is you can drive to the mall if you're close to a mall and walk, do multiple laps like that. That's how I get my steps in. I'll do multiple laps around the mall. If it's too late to go to the mall, what you can do is have a stationary bike as well. Okay. Or there's also um, these videos on YouTube where you can do like it's like a Zumba class where you can get your steps in just by following like the Zumba class. And it takes like 10 minutes, right? But yeah, put a two in the Zoom chat if you are all good or if you have any questions about the steps. Again, another underrated one. And like another one where you actually have to focus on just moving more throughout the day. That's what's really gonna keep the weight off. And it burns more calories than a workout. Mm, cool. So input number three. So this is one of the most important ones. I would say this is the most important one and most underrated one because a lot of women ignore this all the time. And they're wondering why their body isn't changing. So what happens when you are in a state of high stress is it keeps your body in survival mode. So when you are in high stress and you have like a lack of sleep, your body is in survival mode. That means you're going to be craving more food. That means less recovery. That means more fat storage, right? So 7 hours of sleep is the optimal amount that you need in order to get to your goal faster. Okay, you don't need supplements, you don't need any hacks, you just need more recovery, right? When stress is managed and sleep improves, hunger becomes easier to control because, of course, when you're in a state of high stress, that means your body has low energy. And when you have low energy, your body's gonna be like, yo, we need some energy, right? Energy comes from food, right? Um, but yeah, you're gonna improve your hunger cues. Um, Hunger is going to be easier to control. Workouts are going to feel better because you have more energy because you recharge your whole body from sleeping more, right? And yeah, your body is going to respond to the effort that you're putting in. So how I compare stress, or I use like imagine your whole body is like a phone, right? And you charge your phone overnight. You got to do the same thing for your body. So like when you charge your phone overnight, you got to do the same thing for your body. Your body needs to be fully charged in order for you to tackle the next day and to have enough energy to function, right? Because when your phone's on low bat, it's going to be on survival mode, kind of like your body, where it's on low energy. you're not going to function at your best, right? So that's a good way to put it. And I tell this to all my clients. Imagine your body is kind of like a cell phone. It needs to be charged every single night. Okay. If not, it's going to be harder for your body to function, right? Same as your body, right? So again, like there's even studies where it shows, like, put a three in the Zoom chat if you're still listening. Okay, cool. So there's studies that show that when you are in a state of high stress, your body is going to hold on to fat longer because what happens is your body's going to think, oh, shoot, there's no energy. We have no energy to do anything, right? So your body's going to hold on to something that's going to store energy. What stores energy? Fat, right? Because fat is a source of long-term energy. Okay. And search it up. It's legit. Like when you are high in stress, your body's just gonna cling onto fat. That's what it is. And I'll even send the link to the chat later on. Okay. But yeah, when your body is in a state of high stress and low sleep, your body's just gonna cling onto fat naturally. That's just how the body works. It's like insane. It's like super smart. Um, but yeah, when you lack sleep, when you lack energy, that's what it's gonna do. Okay, survival mode. Put A4 in the Zoom chat if that makes sense. Or put questions if you have any questions. All right. Yeah, so optimal amount of sleep is 7 hours a day. Okay. Getting to bed 7 hours or like 7 hours or 8 hours before you're supposed to get up. Right. A lot of people sleep too late. I kind of judge them for that. It's kind of um, like the way I see it is when you sleep late and you don't get enough sleep, that's kind of how a teenager functions, right? They could live off that, but we're grown adults now. We're 30 years old. We're 25 going to 30. We're 30 going to 40. You're going to notice that you're going to need more sleep in order to function properly throughout the day, right? So again, it's like I think it's kind of like an immature thing to sleep late. Like as we're getting older, we have to sleep earlier. Like we need more sleep. We need more energy, right? And you can call me judgy all you want. I don't care, but I know for sure like if you don't get enough sleep, you're gonna not see any results whatsoever. Okay? Okay, cool. Moving forward. So why these three inputs work together? So here's the thing, like these inputs don't work in isolation, because steps help regulate the appetite, right? But also it helps you get more calories burned throughout the day. Sleep helps control the calories, okay? And make sure that you have enough energy throughout the day. Lower stress is going to make consistency possible because you have more energy to focus on doing all these things, right? So this is about building a system where your body actually works with you rather than against you. And when you put these three inputs together and they're dialed in, fat loss becomes easy and it becomes automatic. Like you're automatically going to be losing fat easily, right? And yeah, so like again, like have a checklist, get those three things done. If you got those three things done, you're golden, right? But of course, it's going to take a while for you to see progress. It usually takes like 3 months for you to actually see progress or people to notice and tell you, yo, you're losing weight. What are you doing? I'm just getting better sleep. I'm just tracking my calories and I'm just moving more throughout the day. That's all it is, right? So put a one in the Zoom chat if that makes sense, right? That's all you got to focus on. Yes, workouts are a thing, but we're talking about daily stuff. Cool. Okay. So this is the part that most people underestimate. 6 months of consistently doing all this stuff, of consistently tracking your calories, of consistently getting the steps in, of consistently getting to sleep earlier. That's not just going to change your weight, that's going to change your whole identity. It's going to change your energy, it's going to change your confidence, it's going to change your relationship with food. Like if you did like these things aren't fancy at all. They're super basic, they're super boring, but what I've noticed is that once you obsess over the basic stuff, you are going to see a massive change in 6 months for sure. Okay. You're not going to recognize yourself if you focus on these three things by June, right? But just make sure you're focusing on them every single day. Sometimes you might not hit all of them, but just as long as you have that mindset of like, okay, being better. Like, let's say you're stuck at 6 hours of sleep, aim for 6.5. But the calories are good, and you're moving more throughout the day. Okay. So, what was I saying? Yeah. So again, this is all basic stuff. It's not fancy. You just got to nail these three basic inputs. And for 6 months, if you do that for 6 months, you're going to be unrecognizable. I guarantee it. Okay. So your only job for this week is to just track the inputs. It's that simple. Stop obsessing over the scale. Stop chasing high intense workouts that are making you work harder. Start focusing on these inputs, and you're gonna see the weight go down. Like focusing on the calories, focusing on the steps, focusing on getting more sleep. Trust me, it's gonna feel way easier for you to lose the weight. And there's a lot of women that think, oh yeah, I gotta work hard to lose weight. Honestly, you don't. Like you're spending all this time and money doing these fitness classes. You're working harder, you're sweating more, you are making time to like drive all the way there. When you can just focus on these things while keeping your whole daily routine the same, right? But you're just getting more sleep, of course. But yes, that's exactly how fit bodies are built. They're just focused on these three things. I guarantee it. And that's honestly how fat loss is going to stick long term. Okay. Any questions into the Zoom chat? Or no? Cool. Okay, put an all good into the Zoom chat if that made sense to you. If you have any questions, put them into the Zoom chat right now. If not, then I will see you. Oh, or actually message me on Instagram or Telegram if you have any questions. But yeah, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed that class, and I'll talk to you next week. Peace.